Hello, everybody. Oops, what's going on here? Just a minute. Something's not right. Okay. There we go. There we go. It was doing some crazy stuff. Hello, Cherry. I don't know why YouTube has to announce me that I started the live. Yeah. Hi, Chris. I rescheduled finishing the little fairy for Tuesday because, as I said before, I do several days a month. I don't take any pain pills, so my body doesn't get too used to them, and I don't need increase in dosage. And it's very hard for me. I see tomorrow my doctor, and I'll resume taking my pain pills. So Tuesday, tomorrow will be a lost day because it's too tiring for me to do anything. So we'll finish it Tuesday. But today I thought, because it's much easier for me to just do a cane. Hi, Marijuana. Hi, Leah. Hi, Tina. And I thought of just doing a cane to cover candle holder. Or you can use it, of course, to cover a Christmas ornament as well, if you want. But it's much easier for me to do that. Now, I already prepared these because they require some time to dry so they can be mixed. This is all translucent, and the pieces are about, let me see, about 3 inches over an average of 1.5 inches. And what I did, I placed here a few drops of sapphire blue piñata. Thank you, Leah. And some halo blue gold of the Lumieres. And then I'm going to add at the very end here some cobalt blue. Then here I have some passion purple piñata, alcohol ink. Then I have some halo violet gold Lumiere and a little bit of violet pearl. Then here I have simply the Lumiere halo pink gold with some sunset pearl. And here I have the halo magenta pearl, which is much less because it's more, more intense. And then a little bit of wisteria and a little bit of pomegranate, just a little bit because they are very intense colors as well. So now what I need to do is to do my Skinner blends. First here, because it's like this, I'm going to place it this way and then just put this at the very end. And here I'm going to just get these in and checking, yes, it is dry enough to get through the pasta machine, and placing the violet pearl, and this one, it's dry enough to go through the machine as well. But as you notice on the very end here, I didn't add anything. There will be a little bit of color seepage as I am doing the Skinner blends, and I'm going to move the camera to the machine. So you can see how I'm doing this. And now it's going to be some noise, but you know that my microphone kind of has the noise reduction, so let's hope it won't be too much noise. First, I'm going to go with all 4 of them through so I can make sure that they are well mixed. And I think I'm going to leave the one with the halo pink gold while I'm doing the other ones because it looks like it still has a little bit too dry. So let's do these ones. Hi, Holly. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Colleen. Yes, you finally made it. So I'm going to turn this down a few settings, like 3. Okay, this one wasn't perfectly dry. Hold on a second. Even if I let them sit for half an hour. Okay, and now to make things a little bit faster, I'm going to pan this. And go back on the thickest setting. Now I can go back to a thinner setting. And the same thing with this one. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Cindy. And why I didn't do this ahead of time? Because I wanted you to see how the whole mix goes. Now, as you see, I have some ragged stuff here. Now, what I can do to get rid of this, I can roll this and make it into a plug and push this in. But the thing is that because it's a Skinner blend, and then I'm going to, once I'm done, I'm going to put it like this. This will be the end, so I don't really care. Now, the magenta one. And as before. And this one, as I said, I didn't put so much pigment because I don't want it to be... Yes, I live in the city. Hi, Zenta. Hi, Evelyn. Now, see, my problem is here that I have one lighter, but I think it's going to just bring some more interest to the cane, so I'm going to keep going like this. And let's get the pink one. And again, I'm going to fan the whole thing. And on this one, I seem to have a line too, but it's just going to be more interesting. And then we'll add some more interest. I'll show you here in a minute. get back here and form the... Okay, so now I'm going to form my Skinner blends, and I want to get them... Oh, did I ever tell you me losing one of my blades? So at one point I couldn't find one of these blades. Hi, Sonia. And then the other one that was left didn't seem to work right. And after half a day of me going nuts, where's my blade and why is this one not working right? What had happened, there was a super, super thin piece of clay, and actually my two blades were stuck together like this. Yeah, talk about blonde moments. Oh well, it happens even to the better of us. I'm sure that I'm not the only one that had that happening. But yeah, it was a very, very, very blonde moment. Yeah, you have to always make sure that you got the color properly. And then what you want to do is to get them stuck together, otherwise they might separate like this. Yeah, I did, but that was, you know, one of those, where are my car keys? Oh, look, they are in the freezer. And I'm going to do the same for all of them, and then I'm going to put them in the machine like this for people who are not very familiar with Skinner blends. And I'm kind of trying to keep them at the same width. Oh my goodness, super glued it. Oh, by the way, people, two things. Zenta started felting, and she's doing an absolutely awesome job. She did a griffon with real feathers for the wings, and it looks beautiful. So if you've never checked her Facebook page, because she doesn't have a website or anything, but you might want to take a look, because she intends to make some tutorials, by what I understood. She seems to have a really real gift for felting. I wish I had time. I wasn't so tired, because I love felting too, and I have so much of Connors here right now. And the second thing, I'm actually going to put a small advertising video soon, maybe today, I don't know. The ones of you who follow my Facebook page know that I started on Thanksgiving. I started a sale event, and that is valid for all my online store. And the tutorials go for a 20% off. And the sale will go until the 31st of December, until the new year. And everything has the sale except for the clearance and destashes. And yes, I hope to be able to post another destash soon. Okay, now, I know that normally you are used to me doing these, people, my subscribers who have followed me for a longer time, know that I normally do this very, very thin, because I want very, very defined gradients. Not in this case. In this case, I'm going to go with them all on the thickest setting, and actually let me get this one more. Because it's a little bit wider than the rest. Because I want to do a specific thing for the translucent cane. And I have this tumbler, and the tumblers always work really good for candle holders. And if you were wondering, I always get my the stuff that I cover from Goodwill or any other secondhand store in the neighborhood. And you can find all kinds of shapes and all kinds of stuff. Oh yeah, and there's a piece that I finally managed to take a photo and some animated GIFs of, and it's in the store for sale. I'm moving slow. What can I say? It's not, at least I'm still moving. I still can do tutorials. I still can do stuff. And I'm working on that big tutorial with the geometric canes. And by the way, that's the last bead. I have quite a bit of 3D illusion canes in that one. But I give all the, and this one I still need to sand and buff. The tumbled boxes. If you see, they are all boxes, some facing up, some facing on the side. And there's a lot of stuff in that. There's a section with 3D illusion canes, a section with, and several other techniques that are all part of that necklace tutorial. And then I'm also working on bumblebee jasper, because you know that last month I did a full bumblebee jasper tutorial for my sponsors. And I already did a pendant, and I'm working also on a necklace, something that will be a hinged bracelet, and a pair of earrings that will all match pretty much together. So, oh, it's a chimera. But the chimera has two heads, of which one is a goat. You didn't do two heads to it. It looks like a griffon. Okay, now, the other thing that we are going to do to make it even happier, like this. No, the chimera is a Greek mythology specific, and it's always described with the two heads, of which one is a goat. Okay, the other thing that we are going to use is some metal leaf. So I want some fuchsia, some fuchsia. This is also fuchsia. Did you think that I chose those colors? I chose them so they would match my leaves. Okay, some red. Let me see if I'm gonna use the lavender, because I'm not sure if I have a darker violet. This one is lavender. Let me put it to the side. Yeah, I do have a darker violet. And I need the blue. Yeah, you can find these. I've put them in the Amazon influencer store. After the live is over, I will post the links, but I can post the link right now too. Just a second. These come in kits of a lot of colors. Pictures, metal leaf and foils. There we go. Okay. There you go. What clays? Pretty much you can use almost any clay. I wouldn't really mix Kato with anything, and I wouldn't mix Pardo with anything because they have different ingredients than the other clays. But generally speaking, if you watched my which clay should I pick thing for beginners, I say there that it depends on what you want to do. If you want to do canes, then you want to go with Kato or Fimo Professional. If you want to do something that requires deformation, you need to go with the soft clay. So you can go with Premo, you can go with Souffle, you can go with the Cernit, you can go with Fimo Soft. And if you want to do sculpture, again, you need a firmer clay that holds detail. And there you want to go, if you go for dolls and stuff, you have the sculpting clays. So it depends on what you want to do, JC. But definitely you can mix pretty much all of them. Careful on the baking temperature, because they don't all have the same baking temperature. Generally, Fimo is lower than Premo. So go pretty much more towards the higher temperature. It will not burn. You can tent it, but definitely never do less. They all pretty much recommend 20 minutes per quarter of an inch. That means that if you have a piece that is this thick, you need to go 20 minutes. If you have a piece that is this thick, then that means you need to go half an hour, because that's 3/8 of an inch. But generally speaking, you can almost, for more, for your clay to be safer, go at least once and a half the time they recommend. I pretty much sometimes go even twice. I don't bake for 20 minutes unless it's something that's 1 millimeter thick. But otherwise, I always go at least half an hour to an hour, and sometimes even an hour and a half, especially for when it comes to gemstones, especially if they have any kind of translucent component. Those ones you want to go pretty much double. No, never do anything with Sculpey 3. Sculpey 3, I mean, you can practice with it if you never did anything with clay before, but don't ever do stuff for sale, for gifts, for anything, because it breaks. Yeah, yeah, that is a great idea. That is a great idea. And you can use armature and then build a felting around it. Okay, let's get back to this. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you how to do a so-called flower. And I'm going to go like this. This is my lighter end. And I just grabbed a little bit of it and I'm going to turn it into a little log. I mean, the cane itself will be more flowery than anything. And I thought that we did enough for, actually, let me give you the link to that thing I did, because that gives you a lot of information. Oops. This one, JC. Watch this. It will give you a lot of information. Of animals, what? Yeah, I did last year. I did the reindeer on live. Okay, so getting back to this. I'm going to go half. Made it a little bit too short. I'm going to go half on it. And then again. Now, at this point, I'm going to measure how much I need. And this is a red. Yeah. I'm going to put some. Now, whenever you have booklets, when you don't have flakes, it's much easier to put the clay on the leaf than the leaf on the clay, because if you try the leaf on the clay, it's going to start running around and do all kind of stuff. But here you are sure that you got everything. Pretty much, almost. It's much better than when you try to do the leaf on the clay. Yeah, look in my channel, in my playlists. Look at Winter Holidays playlist. It's there. I had to fix some issues it had. And I have just a little bit left. Okay, let's put this aside for now. And let's do another one. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. Make first a translucent log. You know what you should look for as inspiration? Hi, Beth. Yay. I'm glad you did. Zenta, you might want to look in RPG games because you have a whole bunch of animals there, fantasy animals. Actually, here I'm going to put one earlier. I'm going to try and get two of them. The fuchsia. Which is more of a lavenderish, but okay. Of course, I had to mess up. Yeah. Well, I started playing again Guild Wars 2. It really relaxes me before I go to bed. And I hope to be able to do that piece for the end of the year. There's a vanity outfit that's called Winter Monarch. And I really, really want to do let me get this, a necklace with that theme. I think it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I gave the link. Can you see the chat, what happened before you came in or not? It's a set. It's in my Amazon. It comes in a kit with 6 colors. Oh, let me give the link again. No, not this one. Sorry. Oh. Okay. This one. Oh, come on. Okay. One more. So yeah, I'm playing Guild Wars 2, and it's, there's at least one of my subscribers who's playing it, but she's really, really sick right now. I'm really worried about her. I think she might have gotten not just bronchitis, but maybe even pneumonia. But yeah, most of these online games, they are not really for kids. They are more for adults, and you would not believe how many elderly play them. Okay, let's put this to the side and then keep doing the same thing with the other ones. Okay, so first make a log of the translucent. So this will be with the violet. But yeah, to be honest, I think that online games kept me sane when I was going through chemo. Because I could just go there, you know, and forget about anything else. Yeah. There are even guilds of people over 40, over 50, over 60. Yeah, it is. I had double pneumonia. It's horrible. It's one of the most disgusting things. I was in a car accident and I was in a coma for 5 days. And I guess they weren't turning me properly. And I got not just bed sores, but also pneumonia. And it took me like a month and a half to get over it. It was horrible. And you always have the feeling that you're gonna suffocate. Scary. But yeah, and I am nearing, I still have to do the resins for the decorum. Whatchamacallit? Mica powders. Oh God, it's horrible. I was younger. Yeah, all the colors are beautiful. Really. Okay, let's this one do another leaf on it. My most favorite leaves, to be very honest, are the ones with heat patina. If you look in my store, I have several booklets. They are more expensive, and unfortunately, there's a what's the name of that indigo blue set that I've been wanting for so long. It's peacock something. And it's like they don't make it anymore or something, because I've been watching it. I have it on my list, and it's like they are always out of it. They never got any back in stock, but it's beautiful. At one point, I know I found the Mona Lisa one that had the flakes. You're more prone to get cheaper if you get it flakes, not a booklet. Okay. Here I have a little bit more, so I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to just put it here on the top. You'll see why, because of the way I'm going to shape these. And one more. Sorry, I'm trying to work as fast as I can. But yeah, the leaves are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And if you want a tip to be ready for when I'm going to show the resin thingies, you might want to get, oh God, hold on, I have a, oh, it's called, sorry for my French. I have a brain fart. Flocking powder. You want flocking powder. It is in my store with the powders and stuff. Should be. But yeah, what did I do? Oh, there it is. The mica powders, I am absolutely in love with them. After I do this, I'm going to actually go in the kitchen, see if the bracelet I'm making got cold enough to handle, so I can show you. I'm making one of the projects is a dragon's eye concave bracelet. And I made it in blues and purples. I have something with blues and purples lately, I don't know what. Okay, let's do another leaf here. Yeah, for a long time I was wondering why they don't make other colored leaves. You only find the silver, copper, and gold, because obviously they do all that for like candy wrapping and things. And then finally they came up with it. It's like there are some things that I don't understand why they don't make it. For example, why don't they make chewing gum with food taste? Because that would drop a lot the obesity rates, in my opinion. Because people eat because they like to eat, right? So if you could munch on something that tastes like cheesecake or like steak or something, you wouldn't eat it, but you'd still feel the taste. But no, they don't. I actually looked for that. I found in one spot they had something like peanut and supposed to taste like turkey, but it didn't. So I don't know. I think that whomever's going to get that idea and run with it might make millions if they do a good job. Because I told you, the only one that I found did not really taste like what it was. Oh yeah, it was supposed to be a whole Thanksgiving dinner, and it was turkey, corn on the cob, uh, pumpkin, and peanut. And they didn't. The peanut had a little, was the most similar, close to the taste. Hi, Michelle. Yeah. And you wouldn't eat, you wouldn't get the calories, but you'd still be able to enjoy your favorite taste. Okay, let me get these out of the way because I don't want them to start flying around. Yeah, of course I left the box here. And by the way, these were bought for me by one of my subscribers, Judy, and thank you, Judy, for this. I'm talking about the leaves. But I don't put anything anymore in my Amazon list for a wish list. I only have gift cards because at least until Amazon is going to get their stuff right. Because the thing is that even when you put there that you don't want it to be a surprise, you don't get notified. You only see the item moving from unpurchased to purchased. And if something happens and the person who bought it for you doesn't follow up with it, it can get lost. You don't get it. The person who paid for it has no idea that their money got wasted. So until they straighten up and they make it in such a way that even the person who was bought for, we are making a translucent cane to cover candle holders or Christmas ornaments, anything that, or you can actually put it in the window. Okay, now let's start making some flower petals. Let's see, this will make everything so easy. I'm going to teardrop these. I'll just gently pinch, but don't let the white inside squeeze out. You want to gently pull these forward as you pinch. And push back the translucent. Yep. Did you find anything that actually tastes like the food, Zenta? Because I told you I've been looking for that and I couldn't find anywhere. This one I'm going to actually kinda, how is that called? Paisley it, kinda, not really. Not fully paisley it, but kinda paisley it. So I want to make sure that this is teardropped. And here I'm pulling I have no idea where my acrylic, oh, there it is, my acrylic block. Because what helps is to use your acrylic block to create a nice flat line here. Now on this one, I'm going, as I said, I'm going to kind of paisley it. No, not paisley. I'm gonna paisley the other one. This one I'm going to arabesque it. Well, send me a link. Message me on Facebook and send me a link, please. Your main thing you need to pay attention to is whenever you thin it out is that it's going to have the tendency to widen out. So you don't want to let it do that. And then let's bring this a little bit in. See how I'm pulling it in. And this I'm going to arabesque. And if I do this and this, let's paisley this one. Actually, it's very easy to paisley a teardrop. You just pull on the end. And I'm going to stuck it in the arabesque here. Let's paisley this one too, and actually do more than paisley. Let's do an arabesque at the end. No, it depends on how you actually have a, hold on. Which brand are you talking about? You might have a batch that's been baked, half baked. Okay, there you go. Keto, Pardo, no, Pardo is very different in conditioning. You don't know how to condition it. If you say that it, okay, that's a Premo. Let me get you the Pardo. Actually, I have several with conditioning Pardo. I have this one, and then I have a live I did to show the exactly the mistake people do when they try to condition Pardo. So this is Pardo. Then this is the one will I show because Trish had sent me something that one of her customers sent back that it was old clay and couldn't be conditioned, and I showed that it was not. It was actually knowing how to condition Pardo. And then there's one more where I show how to do the how to remove bubbles, how to avoid bubbles. Why do I? This is ridiculous. Just a second, please. I'm trying to find that one. Okay, how to minimize plaquing. And this one is made for Pardo, but it's valid for Premo and other ones as well. No, that's fine, and I'm sure that there are others who didn't know that these existed, because I just got, see, I have so many videos that not a, I don't think there is anyone who actually watched all my videos. And that's why I'm making the playlists to find things easier. And generally speaking, if you're looking for something, if you do a YouTube search and you just put Kalyana and then whatever you're looking for, chances are that it's going to pop up. Because like I got this morning, I got a message from somebody asking me to please make a tutorial with iridescent dichroic type of film. And I sent her the link because I'm going to make more, it's true, but I already have two tutorials. One, how to use Angelina film to make a nice iridescent surface. And the other one is with the 4 fire opals. Remember, I have the 4 fire opals, that's 3 in 1, the regular milky white, the matrix boulder, and the Mexican. And those are with iridescent film flakes. Okay, so I'm going to super paisley this one. As I said, I'm going to make an arabesque. An arabesque is actually a spiral. It's just in a more, let's show how learned we are way of saying. And this one, I'm going to just spiral it on itself. Now think that everything that you see white here is going to be translucent. No, you do the Kato PolyClay, you bake it, and then after that you heat it with the heat gun. Thank you, Zenta. Actually, I show a close-up process. Hold on, give me just a second. I'll get your, oh. And you can see how it turns from milky to crystal clear. Okay, so this one, and let me see. I'm going to post the link to the part directly to the part where I'm using the liquid clay. There you go. It will start exactly at that spot in the video where I'm starting to apply the liquid clay, and I managed to tape. I still didn't have the good quality camera at the time, but you're still able to see what I'm doing there. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. So you see we have a lot of arabesques here. I'm trying to imagine how I'm going to do my triangle. I think I'm going to go this way. So this one is going to be here. And again, the same thing. I'm teardrop shaping it. Yeah, I usually don't go to Walmart much, especially since we have that Winco open in my neighborhood. The only Walmart I go is pretty much Walmart Market. Okay, so if I put this here, oh, yes, these are the cane benders, and they are awesome. I love them especially as rollers, not just as cane benders. Okay, and then I'm going to flatten this way. Okay, so I have this. I'm going to turn it into a triangle with the tip here on this side of the purple. Now, what happens with the leaf? Because obviously it's going to break as you reduce the cane. It's going to break, but it's going to look almost like glitter. Almost, not exactly. So it's going to look like shiny dots, very delicate dots. And I said it before, but I repeat it every live because there are new people. Whenever you are reducing a triangle, at least this is what works for me. avoid pressing down on these sides, because if you press down on the sides, they are going to start curving. What you want to do is to press down on the corner of the triangle, and then you'll always have to pull a little bit because these edges have the tendency to stay behind. So see, I'm pressing on the edge, I'm pressing down, and don't worry about this, because as you move it, it's going to come on the tile and it's going to get flattened by itself. So pressing down and widening a bit again, pressing down and widening a bit. The only reason why you want to press a little bit on the edges too is because you don't want that clay that's in the middle to go cold on you, because if it does, then your center is going to stay behind. Hi, Catherine. And to avoid that, people are amazed that I'm actually pressing down, but I am, even if it sounds like it's shortening it, because it kind of puts the clay back where it belongs. Now I'm checking the inside, but for reducing purposes, I'm still going to press down. Because I have a spot here that's obviously cold, getting cold. And the leftovers from this type of cane are awesome for making glass-like beads. Okay, let me see. Hi, Robin. What did I miss? Okay. Yeah, and you'll see me using a paintbrush with the liquid clay. You can clean the paintbrush very easily of liquid clay using alcohol. Okay, soon will be time to make this into a square. So let me first cut the ones that pushed up. Let me see that I got it properly. Yes. Now, which do I want to? Let me see. Remember, I have quite a bit of pearlescent stuff going on in this cane. So let's see, do I want to go like this? I still didn't cut properly. Sorry, my hands are not that terrific. Do I want to go like this? Do I want to go like this? This looks like two little horns. Do I want to go like this? I think I want to go like this. Pretty much. So I'm going to gently reshape this into a square. But as I said, it's okay because it makes beautiful beads. And you can press with the acrylic block and then gently tilt it. Stuff that I cut wrong. Well, this reminds you of the 70s. Remember, it's going to be translucent-y. And it's going to look pretty much very gallet-ish if you're familiar with Francois Gallet glass work. They're very expensive. Some of them are more expensive than Tiffany, real Tiffany, but especially because it's like the Gallet vases look like almost like paintings done with glass. I have no idea how they used to do that. Now remember, one of the first things that you need to make sure when you do a cane is that all your clay has to be conditioned the same. It is not advisable that you use different brands of clay in the same cane. If you don't have the colors that you want, try to, watercolor on glass, like that's how Gallet looks like. Try to bring them to a common ground. For example, mix some, if you mix Premo with Fimo, let's say, mix some translucent Premo with every Fimo color. But it is not advisable to mix different brands because they do have uh, some are softer than the others, and you'll have areas of your design starting to come out, and you'll be left with like 1/4 of your desired cane length. Okay, I'm thinking now, doing something else. I'm gonna leave it as is because it's too much trouble. No, honestly, at this point, I would let it rest a little bit if I weren't on a live, because it's getting super soft and I'm getting a lot of deformation. Translucent has that thing. Hi, Noemi. But talking Galde, I'm going to actually use these in the coverage. And go just a little bit more so I can start using the square pairs. See. There's another stuff that I got and I'm looking forward to try after the new year. I saw that Trish had this tribal mold. Let me show you the tribal mold I got. Look at this. Excuse me. Trying to see my. See, and then it's got also some stuff with spirit and ancient and stuff, but all kinds of tribal masks. I think that they would going to make a wonderful, what you want to call it, tribal necklace beads. Okay, let's get the square pairs. Now remember, these ones, you can get them at Tiny Pandora. And I'm going to put a link after the live is over. These are lifesavers, especially if you have hand issues. They are absolutely fabulous. I need to get it just a little bit smaller. And you can go very, very, very small with them. And why they are much better than doing anything else, you know, because normally with a square, you'll just keep going like this. But what happens, the way that the square pairs work, when you do this, it moves all the clay, including the one inside. So you will get much less wastage. And that's all you have to do. Okay. And they come in 3 sizes, so you can switch as you keep going smaller. And I love them especially because, you know, I make micro canes, but it really helps you keep everything neat. Unfortunately, they only work for square canes, obviously. When it comes to triangular or round, or you're on your own. Now, one thing that I would do, and I'm going to show you what I mean. Normally, from a tumbler like this, you need to put stuff on the bottom. Otherwise, it might slide everything you do. What I found really good now, save the metal lids from jars. And then first do cover a tumbler. Just make sure that it's perfectly cylindrical. It doesn't flare out. And then once you do this, slide it away and then place it and fix it on the metal jar lid. And that way you have metal that's much more resistant. Or you can put it on a cork coaster, around the cork coaster, because that's going to protect your surfaces wherever you put the candle on, the candle holder on. Okay, let me see. Okay, we have almost 8 centimeters. I'm gonna go by centimeters. That's why I love a double-sided ruler because I can go by whichever is easier to divide. Okay, so I'm going to cut it in 4 pieces, 2 centimeters each. And it's always easier to get it in 2 first, put 1 pair together, and always check the back, the other side. And let's do this one too. And there we go. Yeah, it looks pretty, huh? And I don't want to go smaller with this one because that's what I'm going to use to cover up. Let me first check. So I think that it's an 8 diameter, but I'm not sure, my dear. So that's 6. That's 9 inches. I have 124. No, it won't work. I need to reduce it to 1 inch. So I can cut 9 slices. And then with these ones, we'll take a page out of Teresa Salgado's book and do a little bit of scanning. Even if it doesn't look like a flower, we can still do that. Yeah, I'm doing this instead of using the square pairs because this is too big for the square pairs. Always move it around, flip it, because it's always one of your hands will be stronger than the other. And especially if you have some hand issues, you might not press the same in all spots. So you always want to flip it. I kind of know where I have the tendency to press harder because I know where my nerve damage is. As I said, from time to time, I would press back in the stuff that came out. A little bit more, just a little bit more. This should be good. Yes. And I have 9/8 of an inch. Yep, 9/8 of an inch. Okay, now these are the Geely blades that are the best for shaving and for cane slicing. You can find these at PolyClay, and this is the 8 inches one. That's the best for shaving and stuff. But for cane cutting, I prefer the 4 inches one. And be very careful if you buy one of these the first time you take it out of the, you want to keep it in the case because they are super, super, super sharp. So you may cut yourself. Okay, I'm going to actually get some little notches and I'm going to do them with a nail. I mean, with the cane being so soft right now, it's the best I can do to slice properly. I'm not saying that it's impossible for me to go like this or like this, but I'm gonna try and do my best. I'm not saying that they will all be perfectly perfect. Okay, and then I have an issue here with the very end ones. Look what happened. I didn't go very well, but I still want to shave off a little bit these ends. Okay, and then I'm going to place a little bit of bacon bond because I intend to leave it on here. The best for this kind of stuff is actually to use the poly bonder. It bonds better clay with other stuff. But if it won't, and it won't, and if it will come off, your best bet is to just glue it with super glue to the glass. Okay. Now I'm going to have to try and make these properly squarish. Of course, if you have a cane slicer, it's much easier to do this part, but always remember to either put the cane in the freezer for like 10 minutes or keep it in the fridge for like 30 before starting to slice. Otherwise, it will get all squished. You saw how I turned it on the side 90 degrees before every cut, just because of that, because if you keep going on the same side, it's going to get all squishy, all squished out. I must have miscounted something, or I need to put them the other way. Okay, let's go this way. Yeah, you have to fall. Now I want to cover up this little spot. That I hadn't cut properly here. Okay, now you can start actually nicely getting them together. And the good thing with the tumbler also is that once you get them all properly set, make sure that they are all even out. You can gently do this. And it's going to bring them better. Of course, you can use your roller for an even better. But don't sweat too much about this. Make sure that they are very well stuck together. Don't sweat too much about these lines, because if you try to get them not to show using your roller, you're going to be at it for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But yeah, go lay down. Go lay down, Catherine. Take care of yourself. Go rest. So what I was saying, if you try to do this with your roller or rolling or whatever you try to do, it's going to take forever. Just all you have to make sure at this point is that they are well pushed against each other, because all you have to do after you do this is to sand, and it's going to remove absolutely all unevenness. As you know, and I said before, I go, whenever I have stuff like this, I would go with the 120 or 150 grit, and then go 180, 240, 320. It doesn't take long at all. And you can get, that's why I usually don't bother smoothing out edges on pendants and stuff, because it only takes a few swipes of the sandpaper to make everything, every edge look perfect. If you try to do it when the clay is raw, it takes forever, and it's not going to do such a good job as the sandpaper does. Okay, so this would be one. And then what I said about scanning, you can scan it. Scanning means Tiny Pandora, Teresa Salgado calls it scanning. It's actually sculpting slices of cane. And as I said, because this is so much like a galette, and once it's going to be baked and it's going to be translucent, you'll be able to see it even better. But because it is so much like a galette, we can actually get some more galette-ish looks just by getting the leftovers from the cane deformations. And we can simply them here and make them have a create another design. That was my finger. It doesn't have to have any kind of I wouldn't right now because it's going to be caught up here. I'm going to put a band of clay here, so I don't think it's going to come off. I very much doubt that. It doesn't have to be symmetrical or anything. You can create all kinds of designs. But see here, I'm kind of imitating the shape of the so-called flower here, right here. It does this U-like, so I'm actually continuing a motif in the original cane. I have this, so I'm going to give it a little center here. And again, create that U kind of shape. So the whole thing will be flowing organically. Yeah, it's all organic if you want. And let's get another one here. And again, shape the little U-like thing. So see how can you see how the metal leaf looks like? Like a line of sparklies. I don't know how to call it otherwise. Now, another thing that you can do after everything is said and done, of course, you can use your paintbrush and cover this whole thing with liquid clay with glitter in it. And it's going to look even more fabulous. I'm starting to get a little tired, so I don't have time to do that, but I might do it because I'm going to show this in the Facebook page once it's done. I don't have that little horns-like thing. If I'm enough. Okay, so for as I said, I'm going to fix it and get it all in place so it wouldn't slide with the line. And these ones I'm gonna make into beads. Because it's so beautiful, you don't really have to do much. It will look all like glass, as I said. And if you don't varnish it, it's going to look like frosted glass. If you just sand it and buff it very, very, very lightly. Yep, pretty much like that, yes. I'm thinking of it after I start working with it. And see, now these are set in place. And one thing you can do if you think that it's in any spot, I'm talking about this, you can gently shave it a little bit. Because again, with the sandpaper, everything will be. I'm going to try and do this so you can see the translucency already, even if it's not baked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to refine a little bit here before getting it to baking. So thank you, Roberta, but you got right at the end. Thank you, JC. And as I said, I might actually, if I do anything else to it, I'm going to jump on a live, but on Facebook, not on YouTube. But as I said, I just have to do a few little things here and there, and then I'm going to bake it and sand it to remove all imperfections. And sand this area too, so they'll be all nice and even. And then I'll see how it feels. And just real quick, let's do some beads. Just a little bit, because you don't really have to work too hard on them. Because as I said, they are very glass-like. So what I'm going to do is to get this together. Cut it into equal parts. And I have 2 squares. So I'm looking for a spot that's not super pretty. Let's get one here. And one on the opposite side. As I said, these will look like frosted glass beads. You want to leave alone the areas that have more translucent. Well, I didn't position it very good. Make sure that you do this until you don't see any more folding line. And then decide, excuse me, decide which part you want slightly twisted. Just twist the ends. And of course, you can leave it like this as a bicone if you want, or you can bring it down into a lentil, or you can make it round again. And there you have nice rounded stuff. Let's do that thing here too. Bye, Cherry. So just by doing this, it's much easier than trying to do a lentil bead. And you saw me doing this in the peppermint bracelet, peppermint candy bracelet. And there we go. And of course we want these to be, I'm not going to poke them now because I want them to get a little bit cooled down, because they are too soft and they have the tendency to, oh, thank you. So you get all these beautiful spirally effects. And as I said, this will look like glass once it's baked. So this is it. It needs to go in the oven after I do the slight things here. But I really need to go and lay down because I've been up for almost 2 hours. Goodness, I did good. Amazing. Everybody have a good what's left of Sunday. Oh, I know you want to see, just 1 second before I get off. Let me bring the dragon eye thing. There we go. And this is with the Decorum mica powders. So remember that there's a sale going on with 20% of all my tutorials on my website. So if you had your heart on any of my tutorials, this is the time to get them. And the sale will be going until the 31st of December. So everybody have a good what's left of Sunday, and thank you so much for being here with me. And I hope you enjoyed the live. Have a wonderful Sunday and a good week next week. Happy claying. Goodbye.